Leadership. The image in this module is by Marcus Speisk at Unsplash. This module is based on the book Organizational Behavior by the University of Minnesota and is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Share-alike 4.0 international license, except where otherwise noted. Learning objectives. In this module, you will 1. Learn the position of trait approaches in the history of leadership studies. 2. Explain the traits that are associated with leadership. 3. Discuss the limitations of trait approaches to leadership. Who is a leader? Trait approaches to leadership. The earliest approach to the study of leadership sought to identify a set of traits that distinguished leaders from non-leaders. What were the personality characteristics and the physical and psychological attributes of people who are viewed as leaders? Because of the problems in measurement of personality traits at that time, different studies used different measures. By 1940, researchers concluded that the search for leadership defining traits was futile. In recent years, though, after the advances in personality literature, such as the development of the Big Five personality framework, researchers have had more success in identifying traits that predict leadership. Most importantly, charismatic leadership, which is among the contemporary approaches to leadership, may be viewed as an example of a trait approach. So now let's discuss the traits that show relatively strong relations with leadership. Intelligence. General mental ability, which psychologists refer to as G, and which is often called IQ in everyday language, has been related to a person's emerging as a leader within a group. Specifically, people who have high mental abilities are more likely to be viewed as leaders in their environment. We should caution, though, that intelligence is a positive but modest predictor of leadership. And when actual intelligence is measured with paper and pencil tests, its relationship to leadership is a bit weaker compared to when intelligence is defined as the perceived intelligence of a leader. In addition to having a high IQ, effective leaders tend to have high emotional intelligence, or what is known as EQ. People with high EQ demonstrate a high level of self-awareness, motivation, empathy, and social skills. The psychologist who coined the term emotional intelligence, Daniel Goleman, believes that IQ is a threshold quality. It matters for entry to high level management jobs. But once you get there, it no longer helps leaders because most leaders already have a high IQ. According to Goldman, what differentiates effective leaders from ineffective ones becomes their ability to control their own emotions and understand what other people's emotions, their internal motivation, and their social skills. Psychologists have proposed various systems for categorizing the characteristics that make up an individual's unique personality. One of the most widely accepted is the Big Five model, which rates an individual according to openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Several of the Big Five personality traits have been related to leadership emergence. So, what are these traits? Let's get into a bit more detail. Openness. The description is being curious, original, intellectual, creative, and open to new ideas. Again, that's openness. Conscientiousness. Being organized, systematic, punctual, achievement oriented, and dependable. That's conscientiousness. Extroversion. Being outgoing, talkative, sociable, and enjoying social situations. Again, that's extroversion. Agreeableness, being tolerant, sensitive, trusting, kind, and warm. That's agreeableness. And neuroticism, being anxious, irritable, temperamental, and moody. Again, that's neuroticism. For example, extroversion is related to leadership. Extroverts are sociable, assertive, and energetic people. They enjoy interacting with others in their environment and they demonstrate self confidence. Because they are both dominant and sociable in their environment, they emerge as leaders in a wide variety of situations. Out of all personality traits, extroversion has the strongest relationship with both leader emergence and leader effectiveness. This is not to say, of course, that all effective leaders are extroverts, but you are more likely to find extroverts in leadership positions. An example of an introverted leader is Jim Buckmaster, the CEO of Craigslist. He is known as an introvert, and he admits not having meetings because he does not like them. Research shows that another personality trait related to leadership is conscientiousness. Conscientious people are organized, take initiative, and demonstrate persistence in their endeavors. Conscientious people are more likely to emerge as leaders and be effective in that role. Finally, people who have an openness to experience, those who demonstrate originality, creativity, and are open to trying new things, tend to emerge as leaders and also be quite effective.